All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is Yusufchowdhury. I'm a digital marketing consultant. I help small businesses and startups on how to use internet marketing technology to increase their sales. So what we're doing today, we have a meetup group here in San Antonio called San Antonio Marketing Group. And what we basically do, we invite a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs here so we can teach them and help them and give something back to the community. So I'm going to be having this session for like almost an hour, so feel free to replay later on again. If you have any question, you can share this, Periscope. And if you have any question, just go ahead and ask me on Twitter, and I'll follow you back and answer this question. Hey, Don, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. All right, I'm going to switch back. There you go. There you go. All right, cool. Can you hear me clearly, though, Don? Can you hear me? Say yes. No? Oh, you already gave me a heart. All right. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, we'll start right now. All right, folks, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay. Yes?
I'm not seeing it. You're supposed to see something in here?
Yeah, you just click like this. There you go. You're joining. All right, just make sure you lower the volume. See? Yeah, all right, cool. Now, before we start, if you all want to connect, I just want to tell you real quick that Jean Roman from the Essence Marketing couldn't attend today because she had some family emergency, so I'm basically covering her session, okay? I'll do my best to keep this class short, even though it's for 2 hours. We're going to do our best to make it within an hour or less, and we're going to ask a lot of questions. You ready for the questions? Okay. All right, so please, don't forget to write down my cell phone number. It's 210-316-3123. If you have any question, you can always text me anytime, 24/7. But after 1 a.m., I might not, answer your call. I may be just snoring or sneezing. But feel free to contact me, okay? If you want to connect with me on all the social channels in Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot, please do connect with me because I love to help and give back. I also want to thank VenturePoint for allowing us to have this facility so y'all can come and learn, and also WP Engine for sponsoring our meetup. And I also want to thank Ascens for, of course, sponsoring this meetup as well. Okay, so if you want to take a snapshot and share in your social media, give them a shout out, that would be super awesome. Nobody? All right, cool. Come on, folks. And this is VenturePoint's Twitter handle, VenturePoint SA. And also for WP Engine and Ascens 360, and of course mine, which is the most difficult one to remember. Don't worry about that. And today's hashtag will be usability tips. So if you learn something new and you want to share it on your Twitter, on your Instagram, or Pinterest, or Facebook, or Google Plus it, or even Periscope it. I see somebody here. No? Okay, I see Bernadette following. Okay, do that. Does anybody know what's the purpose of the hashtag? Come on, folks. I do this in every class. What is the purpose of this hashtag or this pound sign?
It gives you the ability to search for topics.
Absolutely. So somebody go to Twitter, look for a different topic like today's topic, and you share, and they can find your content, right? Whether it's a blog or a tip or advice or some sort of awesome value, that's how you get followers. Does that make sense? So please do use that hashtag, usability tips. I also want to announce that the VenturePoint, they have a program for $49. If you want to be a part of this co-working space community, which is here in Medical, you can attend from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. Come here anytime, bring your clients, work with them. And if you need my consultation every month at no additional cost, it's only 3 hours per month, one-on-one. So if you need some help with your business, I'm your man. Okay, so, and if you need any discounts on the other rest of the other services, those are the prices. The original price plus what you're going to get for 80% off. Okay, all right. Any questions so far? We good?
Okay.
All right, I need some excitement. And of course, WP Engine, thanks to them for sponsoring our meetup. They're still looking for WordPress developers. So if you know anybody that is a WordPress developer that can work for them, that's the link, WPEngine.com/careers. Okay, careers. So have friends and family, niece, cousins, neighbors, please share that link. And also give them a shout out for setting up this event for us, right? To help the small businesses. All right, cool. All right, ooh, we're going too fast. Now, before we start, when you heard the title, usability guideline, what's the first thing came into your mind? Making your website more user-friendly. What else?
Guidelines for like not putting your buttons too close together and mobile usability.
There you go, mobile usability, maybe some sort of design, right? What else? Usability, or sometimes we call it UX, which is a short for user experience, right? Have you seen that before? UX stands for, short for user experience. So
Easy to navigate.
easy to navigate, right? Because did you know that having a good user experience on your website, it is actually part of the, not just having a good experience from your customer point of view, but also from the search engine point of view. Because if your target customer visits your website and they are finding what they're looking for, and they're having a good experience, they might stay longer. That actually helps you with your search engine, right? Does anybody know what does search engine optimization stands for? Look at the folks that attended the seminar on SEO on the weekend. Do you remember? What does SEO stand for? As a quiz time, baby. Come on, give me your own definition. What is an SEO tool? Don't you miss a selling enormous octopus or, right? What is it? What is SEO? Anybody knows? Come on. We have like, how many? 5 folks here that was in the SEO class. I feel bad now. Okay, it is a technical and creative process, right? It's a technical and a creative process that helps, basically that helps with your website visibility organically on the search for the purpose of what? For the purpose of what?
Sales.
Yeah, so you can get targeted customer and convert into a buying client, right? That's what, SEO for. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the basic user experience factors, okay? What makes a great user experience for your target market? Okay, when it comes to the website, it's not about the design now. And I'm not talking about the design and the color and all that. Before all that, you have to look into valuable content. The first thing you have to consider and focus on is valuable content. Content that can actually help your target market. Does that make sense? Like it will educate them, it will help them. It'll be so awesome that they're going to come back and read it more and more and more. Does that make sense? So the first thing when it comes to a great user experience, I need to figure out what kind of content I'm going to put on my website, whether it's on static pages or blog or news pages as well. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing, that you need to make sure that my content is so awesome, not written so poorly that nobody's going to be sitting there to read. Okay? Secondly, like you said, ease of use. It has to be so easy for your target market. When your customer comes to visit your website, it should be so easy for them to navigate, to go to different tabs. You don't want to give them more than 2 seconds to figure it out. Okay? So whatever pages you have, make sure that it's easy for them to find it. Like the contact page, it's up in the corner right there. About page about the company is right after the home page. Services maybe after about directly, or blog or testimonial. Whatever they're looking for, it has to be so easy. Keep it very simple. Not like some of those websites I've seen, like with 20 pages on the top. Sometimes too much is actually too bad, right? Then the design element has to evoke some emotion. There's a link I'm going to share with you that talks about, different colors has a different emotion, right? That is just from the color point of view. But what about the image itself? If I'm targeting, let's say if I'm doing a math tutoring for high school kids, what kind of image I'm going to put them on the front page? A Harley Davidson biker, right? No, that's not going to be something relevant. It's probably going to freak them out, right? Something that has a picture of those students or parents or an emotional situation, so they can relate to it. Does that make sense? Like in the weight loss business, what do they share sometime on the front page? What's the most popular thing that they have on the front page? The before and after, right? Because it's a little bit, can basically reflect to, maybe somebody can relate to it, right? So that's what I mean by it has to evoke emotions. Now,
in the example of the math teacher, is it better like to have people or to have mathematical symbols? What do you recommend?
people, of course, it depends. If you're targeting people, what does a number going to do?
People go with happy face.
Right. I mean, you have to learn something from Apple. I mean, have you ever seen Apple commercial versus Verizon or Android commercial? It's a big difference, right? Can somebody tell me the difference between the two?
Apple is simple.
Not the symbol. What do they show in their commercial?
Happy people. People use
People are user experience. They don't know about the features. They show how easily they use the app, use the phone, how they're happy. There's happiness in their face, you know. But with Droid, they have like this robot, fighting with some sort of I don't know, ninja. I'm like, who cares about this stuff, right? Maybe it's a different market, but with Apple, it's more about usability. It's about, make it easy, make it less. Does that make sense? Because sometimes in the web, sometimes we say less is more. Okay? Also make sure, number 4, make sure that whatever your customer is looking for on the website is very easy to find. Basically searchable. Okay? If they're looking for a contact page or some blog post about different content, make sure you have a search box or something for them so they can find it easily. Not just on your own website internally, but also offsite. That means when they search in Bing or Yahoo or Google, or if they look at your social media channels, you need to make sure that your website is available and visible. Does that make sense? You should be what? Foundable. I don't know if that's a word. Okay? You should be foundable, I don't know. Searchable is right there. I just probably made it up. I don't know. Put it in the dictionary. Then number 5, a lot of people, it's just sad. A lot of people don't even think about this. Accessibility. That means people with disability. How can you help them? How can I help someone with disability? How can I help them when it comes to the web?
tag all your photos with alts.
There you go. Excellent. In your images, you put alt text or alt tag, which is a description of the image, because when they move their mouse to the image, it will tell them this image is about blah, 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 blah. Does that make sense? And for the search engine will understand what these images are too, because search engine cannot read images. Does that make sense? So we have to make it easier for them. What other feature I can put beside the alt text to make it easier for them? Because that's for folks that cannot see. Sound. Imagine if you put like some sort of, like one of my clients, Asperger101.com, for every blog post, she put like an audio feature. So if nobody can read, they play the audio, right? That's one thing. Or you can also put, I don't know, if you want to go above and beyond, sign languages, right? That's above and beyond. There's some plugins for that, or different services for that. Okay? So that you have to think about from that perspective how I can make it easy for them. Okay?
You know that there is a federal law that the
Yeah.
website must have the accessibility items or
Absolutely.
feature. It's a federal law. I don't remember.
It's like 508, something like that. Yeah. I don't remember what you're talking about.
Remember the number.
Yep. So a lot of websites don't even do alt text. Nobody think about having an audio or something. I can make it easy for them. If you do that, oh my God, it's going to be so awesome. Again, making it a great user experience, right? Last one, trust factor. So what happened, what kind of stuff I'm going to put on the website that will create some trust? You can put privacy policy on the bottom. You can put terms of service, right? If you are an e-commerce website, you can put like, authorized and different company that, says this is legitimate. Does that make sense? Okay, so there has to be some sort of trust factor. So these are just the basic principle and concept when it comes to having a great user experience. So is there any question about these? Because we haven't talked about design and all that yet. We haven't talked about the strategies on how you can make your website great. This is just the concept that you have to be aware of about it. This is for every web, for every website. You need to understand that I have these. Okay? Great.
Real quick question. You don't have to answer this if you don't think it's applicable. For like the trust factors,
Mhm.
do you think there's an inherent value in having like HTTPS versus HTTP with your SSL?
That is a beautiful question. Do you guys understand the question? You know how when you go to any website you have HTTP and now HTTPS,
Well, depending
right?
if you pay for.
That is a very excellent question. In most of the e-commerce, that is actually considered number one factor for security, right? So now Google, if you go to Google, it comes with the HTTPS, and it's considered one of the minor ranking factor on the website. So my suggestion personally, if your website doesn't have an e-commerce, doesn't have anything that sells, I advise you don't have to put it. Okay, but if you're selling something, then you can put like HTTPS. Otherwise, I don't think it's a major thing. So whether you do it, you don't do it, it's not a problem. If you do it and you don't have an e-commerce website, that's the way you're investing on the site, okay? But typically, maybe it's going to be good because we can see the S. Oh, that could be a factor.
The issue because we built it without, and then we got an SSL, then the redirects just got very confusing.
Well, that is a problem.
So
You're absolutely correct. What happened if you build it without the SSL certificate? Once you install it, you're going to have issues with redirect and different links and whatnot. So that's one of the disadvantages. So, so you have to make a decision because having a broken link is a problem, which means bad user experience, right? Going back to the bad user experience, like, what is this? That's working. Dang you, right? Okay. So do you folks understand this concept very clearly? If you just follow this, I know you do web development, right? So if you just kind of put it in your forehead and stick it right there on the desktop, remember all the time that these are the principles that I need to follow every time I build a site. Okay? The concept has to be clear. All right? Cool. Any more questions? We good? Yes? That's weird. You can go back to it. Yeah, you can close and go back. It should not be limited. It's actually for everyone.
I don't know if you have set it that way.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's limited. If this comment was limited, I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake, but it shouldn't be. So go ahead and try one more time. Go back and see what it does. Because I had an issue with one scoper where it didn't let me comment. When I went back, it was working. Okay. All right, well, that's fine for today. Sorry, folks, no comments. Okay. Apologies. I don't know. Maybe I pressed it wrong. Maybe I picked something else. Maybe I picked the audience. Shouldn't pick the audience. Okay. My bad. All right, cool. Any more questions? We good? Awesome. Now, when it comes to a website, we talked about the principle. Now we need to talk about some of the strategies. So before you build the website, what are some of the things that you think about? Now you have the concept clear, right? So what's the first thing you're going to do about the website? You're going to have to look for, understand, you have to look for who? Your target market? You have to understand your target market, right? You have to understand who's your audience, correct? Then secondly, what's the next thing? How many pages do you need? Right? How many pages do you need on the website and why do you need them? If you have an about page, if you have, if you have an about page, if you have a service page, what are the purpose for each? Because you have to understand it. If you understand the reason, the purpose behind each page, then you understand what your customer is going to do. Okay? So that's number 2. Now, number 3, call to action, right? We need some sort of call to action right there. Call to action. What kind of call to action I'm talking about? Call now. What else?
Buttons,
What kind of buttons? Register now, sign up, subscribe, call today, right? So you have to make a decision what kind of call to action do you need to put on your website. In fact, when you have a website, you have to make a decision, what is the purpose of my website? Am I building it to get customers? Am I building it just to have an information? Am I building it just for the show off, right? If you need customers, then you have to figure out what do I need to do? What kind of call to action do I need to put so I can get conversion, right? I mean, if you see a lot of dentists and plumbers in medical, they say call today, set up an appointment, right? That's the conversion, right? Some coaches, they basically use what? Get into the list. Give me your name and email address. I'll give you some offer, some valuable offer at no cost, so I can continue using online email marketing with that, right? So you have to make a decision what kind of call to action do you need to put and why you're putting it there. If it's a phone number, that means you need calls, right? If it's a form, you mean more information. So you need to make a decision what kind of call to action do you need. And make it easier for them, like on the top right corner, make it easier for them to find it too. Because you have to tell your visitor what they need to do. You don't want to leave it just up to them. If they come to your front page and the first thing that you want to talk about, we have the best service or we get the service that benefits you, call today or get into the list, whatever, you have to basically direct them what they need to do. Does that make sense? Okay. Then lead capture. Anybody use email marketing services? Email marketing services. Like Constant Contact, MailChimp, yes, and all these like autoresponder. Again, that's another factor that you need to think about. that I need to capture leads, right? Anybody comes from website in terms of traffic, I need to capture them. So for that, you can use those services, okay? And make it easier for your, visitor to basically, get into the list easily. Does that make sense? Don't make too many crazy options. Just make it very simple. Give them an offer. 1-2 steps should be enough. Okay? Make sure that your website is responsive web design. Like you mentioned, it has to be mobile-based. Why is it mobile-based? Because most of us check the internet from our mobile device, right? So you need to make sure that your website is built as a responsive-based design. Because, if you have a customer that checking your website from their phone, and your website looks like, back in the 90s, or it doesn't shrink, or it doesn't respond to the design of the device, then that's a bad user experience. Okay, that is a bad user experience. Add social media elements. If you want to keep your website engaging, you gotta have some sort of follows in social, or on the bottom of every blog post, have some sort of share this content, so that way again it's searchable and also shareable easily. Make it easy for them to share, because if you don't, and I've seen sites that they have a blog, but they don't have a comment box, and they don't have a shareable buttons. So how do you think, of course people can, copy the link and put it on Facebook, but I can do that, it's no problem, but most people are lazy, okay? They're not gonna do it. So you gotta make sure that you have some sort of searchable features on the bottom of your blog post, and a comment box. Can somebody tell me why I should have a comment box? I don't have time to waste and answer all these questions. Why should I have a comment box? To engage. Because part of the good user experience, that they're engaging with you, right? They're engaging with you. At the same time, they're spending time sitting there, engaging with others. Does that make sense? Okay.
I have in my website that comment, and a lot of people put like advertising that if you want this, or you can improve your website.
Mm-hmm.
So I have it that I have to monitor it. But yeah, that's the problem, that sometimes you get many comments that are not related to what you're saying.
Well, you need to have some sort of anti-spam plugin and a filter that will prevent. If you have a website built on WordPress, you can use Akismet. You can use Akismet to prevent spammers. Okay, spammers going to happen regardless, but you still need to engage. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions so far? Are we good? Are we following this? Yes. Yes.
In your experience, Yusuf, are most of the WordPress templates, are they responsive?
Yes, for now, all of them, almost. Most of them, I would say.
Now are all of them?
Yes, it has to be.
Okay.
They have to go with the technology, right? I just WordPress. Excellent question, though. Any more questions? I'm going to have a quiz session. Oh, any more questions? We good? We good? All right. Make it interactive. Okay, what I mean by that, this is something I learned from Jared Gucci, who owns WPFixit.com, where you can actually add a chat box that pops up on your site. Again, to make it easier for your visitor to contact you. If they don't feel comfortable calling you, if they don't feel comfortable submitting a form, they can do a quick chat. And I'm going to share a couple. There's so many plugins out there. I'm going to share one that he uses it. It's a free version, but I advise you to invest. Do a premium, and because it has good support. That way, somebody comes into your site, you can connect it to your cell phone, and you can just answer from there. You can close it anytime you want. But you're going to give that customer an awesome experience where they come to your website. Oh, there's a chat. I can engage. I can ask a simple question. Anything from what's your address to something complicated. Okay? All right.
I went to the Metro PCS
Uh-huh.
website, and it's one of the worst experiences. If I need to contact them, I need to go to the contact us page that is hidden.
Wow.
They don't have a chat, and they don't have email. You have to use only phone. And I said, gosh.
See?
And it's being a big company, and you don't expect to have that kind of service.
You'd be surprised sometimes, especially some of the government website. Okay? They have not a lot of user experience. They don't care. They're like old school. All right. Any more questions on that so far? We're good, right? Because we're good on time. We can probably finish this soon. Okay. Website speed. Speed matters. Not just for the search engine, but for your customer. For somebody that visits your website, you got to make sure that they're not going to be waiting for 10 minutes. Maybe 1 or 2, not more than 2 seconds. The website has to show up.
I have a question on page speed.
Mhm.
If you have issues with images,
Uh-huh.
do you have to go back and reload all your
That is a beautiful question. Again, if you have a WordPress website, there's a plugin that can shrink the size of the file. So that way it's not going to be, it will take too much time to load. Secondly, the best practice is, which I recommend, do not upload any images more than 1 megabyte in terms of file size. So the less, the better. Okay? So if you do that, then you're good. Because when you have especially photographers, sometimes, oh my God, they have these tons of photos because they rely on their portfolio and gallery, but when they have so much, it becomes so slow, right? And most people are not going to bother watching it, right? So make it just something easy to see. Especially with the mobile right now, you don't need huge, big picture. Just something very easy to see, okay? But I think for the WordPress, there was a plugin called Smush It, but it used to be, I think they're gone, or maybe some other company.
I have to delete it because it didn't work.
Well, because they're closed. I think Yahoo got rid of it, or some other company bought it. Double check that. Double check which company bought it, because I heard that it's premium right now. So smushit.wp. And there's another one called image something. That's what it's called, image something. Just go to WordPress plugin and look for that. Image something. Okay. All right. So we're going to show you some tools. We're going to show you some tools that you need to use to check the speed of your website. We're going to talk about that too later on, okay? Test and monitor. What can you use to test and monitor your website? Google Analytics and somebody else's computer.
What's that metrics thing?
Google Analytics. There's another one from Google. Yes, thank you. Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tool. Those are free, completely free. And there are others that you can actually pay them. And I'm going to share this link with you, okay? A lot of good stuff. So, any questions so far? You see how simple this is? I mean, just basic stuff. That's what, Betty, yes. That's what makes a better user experience, right? So if we talked about the concept in the beginning. Look at these strategies. If you have it just put on your wall every day, look at it. If you're a designer and developer, make sure you have these. In fact, make sure you share this with your client. If you build a site for them, sometimes I tell a lot of my coaching clients that it's not about the cosmetics sometimes, it's about the purpose. Like why I'm building the website, what do I want the customer to do, how simple and easy it is for them to navigate. That should be the priority. Then let the designer take care of the design. Okay? You will see that some people just made a basic WordPress website, just put content and they still get awesome traffic and they still generate. And if you look at the website, it looks just very baby step, right? So please focus on these, then you can focus about the cosmetic. Now, so these are some of the email services. MailChimp, you can get it for free. The only thing, the autoresponder will not work until you pay them monthly. But everyone else, you can try them for, I think everybody can try them for 24 months, and after that you pay them. So I cannot tell you which one is the best, because I basically work with all of them, and some people prefer this over this. So what you can do, just test them. Because some of them have 30-day trial. Log in, sign up, see if you feel comfortable, see if you like it, see if this is something you can use, and stick with it. But if you don't want to pay right now, or if you're under budget, go with MailChimp. Okay, I think for up to 500 subscribers, they're not going to charge you. Okay? For autoresponder, that means if you have somebody subscribe, and let's say you want to give them every week some sort of update, some sort of different offers, you cannot set up a drip campaign for free version. The first one will go out automatically. Here you go. Thank you for subscribing. Here's your ebook. That's about it. But you cannot set up a monthly. It's called drip campaign. You can do that for the free version, and it's $10 if you want to add, if you want to invest. And I highly advise you as a business owner, you got to invest some time. You can't be thinking everything for free. I haven't seen a successful person that became very successful by having everything for free.
You can use it also to say thank you.
Yeah, you can have a thank you page, nicely designed, and you can make it very cool. Okay. All right. So that's So you have a MailChimp, constant contact, eye contact, vertical response, Aweber, very basic. But Infusionsoft is very kind of high end. I think they charge you $200 a month. Okay. But those are for mid-sized company, but it has a lot of crazy features. Do you guys use Infusionsoft for your agency or no? Eye contact, yeah. So eye contact is one, constant is another one. Okay? So make sure you have some sort of lead capture from your website so you can grab those visitors. Okay? Any question? You guys are scholars. Okay, good. So this is the website called Browser Shots. Okay? I don't know if I mentioned previously that you have to make sure that your website works on most of the popular browsers, like Firefox, Opera, Internet Explorer sucks, right? And what do you call it? Chrome. Does that make sense? So there's a tool called browsershots.org. So you can go to that, put a link right here. So you can put your website and see how it looks on all those browsers. Does it look okay or not? Because some browser, has a different type of code. So it looks nice on Firefox and Chrome, but for some reason it doesn't look nice on Safari. So the developer had to go back and make some changes. Okay? Because I have some client that, hey, in Explorer looks crap. Because the coder forgot to adjust it for that. Okay? So this is an awesome tool, browsershots.org. Okay? If you guys need a copy of this presentation, it's all in the meetup, just to let you know.
Once you identify an issue like that, I guess if you can't fix it yourself,
Uh-huh.
we have to hire someone like
Of course.
I mean, because how do you even know why it may or may not be?
That's a beautiful question. I'm not a coder. I don't know, but I do send it to my developers and they fix it.
It's like I can identify the problem,
Right.
then I need to find someone else.
Yes. Yeah, we have teams that code and do all the crazy stuff. If there's something that I can. I'm busy, man. I got other stuff to do, right? Got to run a business, not do this, boring stuff. Okay, I have one developer. She's amazing. I have this one developer. I'm not kidding. She codes from her iPhone. Like I send a client's website, hey, something broken, and she fixes it on the phone, and respond at the same time. I'm like, hey, why are you Skyping from your phone? Well, I'm fixing it. I'm like, you're a genius. You're a ninja.
If you call every day, like rain,
Yeah, it's nothing.
do it to the phone.
Yeah, and she's like, I was like, man, I was scared. Okay. So this is how, you see how it looks different on the mobile device? On the desktop, it's going to look like that on the desktop, but on the laptop, on the phone, see? It changes. That's what they call a responsive base, because it responds to the environment of the device. Okay? Now, I want to share with you a couple of statistics about why mobile is so important. As you can see, almost more than 57% will not recommend a business with a bad mobile site, bad mobile experience. Okay? 70% almost expect the mobile site to load faster as a desktop. That means you want to make sure that it's fast even on the mobile device, not just a desktop. Okay? You don't want them to wait more than like 2 or 3 seconds. 40% turned away to the competitor because of that bad mobile experience. And 95% of smartphone users search for local businesses from their mobile device. And what does that tell you as a business? If most of the customers search for local businesses and you're a local business from their mobile device, what does that tell you? What do you need to do? Well, beside the website, what else do you need to think about? I'm on the mobile looking for search for local businesses. And you need to have the phone easily visible. Okay? And secondly, you need to have Google Business Page. Right? Google Business Page or Yelp or Foursquare, so they can search for you and they can find information and easily they can call you. Does that make sense? I mean, if you look at 95% of smartphone users, they look for doctors, dentists, salon from their mobile device. So you got to make it very easy to be searchable on the mobile and easy for them to contact you. Okay? We also have almost 60% will call the business after searching. 60% will visit the location after searching the mobile, and 90% of the people will call the business after 24 hours after the search. So that's why it's not just I want my website to be mobile friendly, but I need to make sure the phone number is there, my map is there for my location, for my business. You got to make it so easy for them to find you, right? And the phone number, even from the website, has to be clickable. That means when they look at your website and they see the phone, you don't want them to go and tap the phone. You want them just to click the button and it calls you right away. Okay? Isn't that crazy? Of course it is. Yes? QR code, I would love you to watch this video by Scott Stratton. He has a website called On Marketing. a podcast called the Stratton. He's from Canada, Canadian, eh? He's awesome. I love his stuff. His show, the Podcast. Just do a search for Podcast. He did a video on QR code. In fact, he wrote a book called QR Code Kills Kitten. So every time you run a QR code, you kill the kitten. Yes, with the QR code, unfortunately, I don't scan the card properly. So the issue with the QR code, I personally don't think is that popular, but text marketing is very popular. Like, and you get a text, and you get, that's very popular because in the text, every single person that has a smart mobile device, they will see the text, even if it's from Nigeria, they'll see it, right? They'll see it. Unlike the email, they're just going to wait. But the message, half of the message is right there. So text is more powerful than the QR code. And when you use the QR code, you have to be very smart. You don't want to put it on your website. That's what Scott was saying. So you're going to go to your website, there's a QR code, you do like this, and suddenly, you go to the same website. All right? You don't want that. Or imagine what Scott was saying. Somebody sent you an email and there's a QR code, but it's on your phone, the email. So how can you scan it?
But as far as like face-to-face marketing goes and having the QR code,
Right.
I know in Asia it is popular.
It is popular.
That's what people use in Asia. However, is that something?
If you're talking about print, then yes. If you have like a business card, if you have a print, but don't just focus on the QR. Maybe put an SMS on it on the top, and for those who want to use the QR, they can. But even then, when they scan the QR code, make sure that it takes people to a mobile-based website, not a regular site, okay? Or to a landing page, to like an offer. Like in your business, you do ESL program courses, right? In different countries. So if they scan it, maybe you will take them for a different language straight to that page where they can sign up. You can do stuff like that.
Do you know of a good resource to go and find? Not bashing information of how they kill kittens, but how to use them.
There's so many websites out there. It's very free. You just go to this QR something, put your link, and they make one for you. Just print it out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but read that book. It's hilarious. I mean, you should follow him. Scott Stratton, the Unmarketing. I'll have his book called The Unawesome Business. He's awesome. I mean, he is done. Him and Gary Vaynerchuk. So check his YouTube. Check the Unpodcast. Very, very awesome show. Okay, he's an expert in the field of marketing and whatnot. Okay, great question. Any more questions? Are we good? Oh, we're good on time. Excellent. Now, this is the tool for you to test and see if your website is mobile friendly or not. It's from Google. It's very long, but I made a bit.ly link. It's very case sensitive, so make sure the capital is Y, capital M. So bit.ly/Yusufied Okay, so I gotta build my brand, right? You've been Yusufied. So Yusufied Mobile will take you exactly to that link, so you can put your website and will tell you whether it's mobile friendly or not. If it's not, it will give you a suggestion on how to fix it. If you're a developer, it'll be easy for you. If you're not, you need to send it back to your coder or developer to do that. Okay? So I have the link right here, bit.ly, bit.ly/Yusufied Mobile with capital Y, capital M. It's very case sensitive. If you don't do that, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so I've made that link for you. Any question? All right, so the next one, what happened? The next one, this is the chat feature that I talked about for our website. There are many out there. This is the one called Pure Chat, and I put the link right here, Pure Chat. So if you want to add that on your website, I believe it's a WordPress-based. They have a free version, but like I said, I recommend that you invest, especially in your business, invest it. I think the starter price is like, I'm not sure if it's $19 a month, I think. Double check. So Pure Chat, so you can have a nice chat that pops up, and your customer can engage with you, and you can engage with them. A very awesome tool. Okay?
Plugins all slow down the site?
That is a beautiful question. That is an excellent question. Does a plugin slow down your website? Depends. Depends on your hosting. Depends on how the actual coding was built. Because sometimes you really don't want to put plugin for every single thing. Does that make sense? You don't want to put a plugin for, hey, I need to just add this color. Let's put a color plugin. You don't want to do that everything a plugin. Does that make sense? But for stuff like this, why not? Okay, like an extra feature, like an SEO plugin, like a forum plugin, a membership. That stuff you need to, especially for you, if you're not a coder, plugin is your only option to kind of use it. Does that make sense? So check it out, Pure Chat. Okay? Y'all can tweet this. Give me some shout out. Okay. GT Metrics is another website. You can go ahead and put your website right here. It will give you a score, and it will tell you exactly where the problem is, just like Google, but maybe in a little bit more details. So I like this site called GT Metrics. Try this one as well, and it will give you a suggestion. If your website is WordPress, it will tell you exactly what you need to do to make your website faster. Because when you make your website faster, there are like so many factors, not just your website, but your hosting, your server, your other factors that can contribute in making your website fast. Okay? Any question?
Concerned with server speed, is there any real way to know whether it's the server or like your hosting?
Right.
Because I think there's a website that you can go to. I think it's like Uptime or something. So if your site, because our site goes down quite a bit, and I don't know. I think it might be that.
It might be. You know why? Here's the thing. The first thing first, you have so many checklists. What I mean by that, check the coding, make sure all the images are small. You use all this tool, and the tool will tell you, what, it looks like it's not your site. It could be the hosting provider, because we have some client, when we use the Google's the speed test page, it will show us the issues, but because we have coders, they know what the problem is. So they go in the back end of the website, and they tweak this code to make it faster. If it still doesn't work, then they investigate, and sometimes they found out that particular servers did not have certain files or certain folders or certain functionalities that they need on the server installed. Does that make sense? So our team, luckily, they do that. But when it comes to like speed of the website, first you have to check everything on the front end, on the back end. If everything looks good, but for some reason it's still slow, or if you use that uptime.com, is it uptime.com? Can you double check that? I know there's a site that tells you how. Yeah. Right, because if you notice that the hosting is causing an issue, then it's time to switch. In fact, here's another thing: when you host your website with any hosting companies, is it shared hosting or dedicated?
Shared.
Well, of course, in the shared hosting, there's a chance that problems like that is going to happen because so many of the customers are sharing one place, one server. Does that make sense? But if you have like cloud or dedicated, you're not going to have issues like that. Uptime Robot, cool. So somebody write it down, uptimerobot.com, right? Just to check the server status. How is it running? Is it down? What's going on? Because if you notice a lot of time that there is some sort of downtime, then it's time for you to switch. Okay, if you don't mind asking, who you're with? GoDaddy. Yeah, they suck. Okay, and this has been publicly recorded. I recommend. I do buy domains from GoDaddy. And I have some clients that are on GoDaddy, and they're happy, and it's working fine. Because, there's so many servers, right? But what I recommend for small business right now is a SiteGround. SiteGround.com. They have an excellent customer support. And
so about that, I called the 1-800 number the other day, and I just had a message that said, if you're having trouble with your website being down, we're on it. Like, they must have a bunch.
Something probably happened, yeah. Okay, that could be the reason. All right, so check out GT Metrics, which is an awesome tool to check the speed of your website. And here we go, Page Speed Insight from Google. And I put a link for you, bit.ly/Usified Speed Test. Capital Y, capital S, and capital T.
On G-Metrics, 91% is good?
Yeah, anything above, our team consider anything supposed to be above 85. I prefer 90 and up in terms of speed. Okay, so if you have above 85, you're okay. But 90 and up, even better. Okay, so make sure bit.ly/Usified Speed Test, capital Y, capital S, capital T. Okay, because the actual link is too long. So I'm trying to simplify it for you. Just like usification, simplification, right? It's a new certification. Okay, so this is Google Analytics. Google.com/analytics. Make sure every website must have that, because you need to understand why. Because analytics has the tool that will show you the behaviors of your users. So when somebody visits the website, it will show you like how many minutes they're spending, how many times they're spending, where they're spending, which page they're going to, from what page to what page. And based on the activity of the traffic and the visitors that come to your website, now you can go back and tweak a few things. Okay? So you must have this on every website. Then, of course, Google Webmaster Tool is also very, very important, because this is where it will make sure that when the Google Spider crawls, if there's any error, it will let you know. This is where you are going to index your website. When you finish optimizing every single page, you have to use this tool to send Google a request for indexing. Does that make sense? And it will tell you the same thing, the issues in the traffic and malware and whatnot. So you need this. And it's free. Okay? And here's the link right here, google.com/webmasters. And they also have a section for like a Webmaster Academy. So they will teach you every single thing about usability and on-site SEO. Like what do you need to put in terms of key phrases and keyword and alt tag and image and how to optimize video. Everything, they have it. So if you want to educate more, check them out. Okay? Any questions so far? We good? We good? All right. Nobody lost their hair yet? Okay. Crazy Egg. It's not free. This is another service that will show you the heat map. It will show you the heat map of your website. It will show you where people are focusing more when they visit your website. Okay? Very interesting, right? Mm-hmm. And there's also right here, crazyegg.com. Mouse Flow is close. It's similar to Crazy Egg. Similar to Crazy Egg. You can check it out. Mouse Flow. What I like, there's another feature. I'm sorry. So this is Mouse Flow, similar to, yes, Crazy Egg. Now, we'll talk about another awesome tool right now. User testing. This is actually a service where you pay the company, they'll pay somebody, like, I don't know, $50, and they'll do a video. That means they'll go to your website and they'll give their honest feedback.
It's free?
And no, you have to pay for it. It's a service. I use it for my customers. Because when I do like a heavy design sometime, I just do it for the heck of it to give them feedback. Look, this is what your customer going to behave. So what happens, the minimum request I think is 5. So you're looking at close to like $200-something because you're going to pay like 40-something each person. And they'll record the video and they give you honest opinion from the front all the way to the usability. Like, how they found the design, what the message meant for them on the side. When they logged in, what did they feel? Then you can take those information and go back and tweak your site. Okay? Another cool one just I found recently is called inspectlit.com. This one will record the session of what your customer is doing. It's pretty cool, right? It will record the session because you put a code in your website and will record what happened to the click when somebody visits. Okay? This is just we picked up recently and our team are testing it. Okay? So far it's kind of crazy, but they're happy about it. Okay? So check it out. Inspectlit.com. It's pretty cool, right? Because you need to know how your customer are behaving, right? On your website. Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes those creepy thing is good. I like creepy stuff that is good. Okay, that's it. We're done for the session. Exactly at 1 o'clock. Yeah. All right, 1 hour. We're done. All right, Periscopers, thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and have to end this scoping. Okay, so I can watch it later on. Thank you for joining.